We're backstage on the Very Irish playlist to chat a name that's been synonymous with Irish music for the last 2 decades. He's 1/4 of a band that's trailblazed Ireland's indie rock scene, is gold certified and Choice Music Prize nominated. He shared the stage with the names like the Rolling Stones, Van Morrison and Neil Young, seemingly never caught without his hands in some sort of creative cookie jar. When he wasn't writing and singing for the acclaimed band during lockdown, he showcased his impressive range in songwriting with his own works, taking form in his album I Cross This Universe, delivering everything you could come to love and expect from a talent that's been at the front line of the industry for almost 20 years. He's here to celebrate that number and the band's latest release of Oh You A Lot. It's Malachy Toohey of the Riptide movement. How you doing?
Jesus, I'm great, Adam. I'm even better after that intro. That's some intro, Jesus.
Well, man, you've got an insane CV. Like, honest to God, these names, these numbers, they're unbelievable. As we're here to celebrate, it's the 20 years on the go, 2 decades on the go, and no doubt you've had a lot of memories and a lot of experiences of this. Is there anyone in particular, and I know this is a absolutely acclaimed music career, but is there a moment you ever think of when the likes of a reporter or anything comes up to you and it's like, what's a memorable moment for you that like always sticks out in your mind when someone asks you, what do you remember from all of these years gigging and touring and playing music?
Yeah, there's tons of them. I suppose the best gig for us as a band was the main stage on Electric Picnic in 2015.
Nice.
It was just amazing because our album Getting Through had been out a year and everybody knew the songs and we had a great time. We were on at like 5 o'clock, I think, on the Saturday afternoon. And the weather was beautiful, so we had like thousands out.
God.
And the vibe was just amazing. So for a standout gig, that was definitely up there with us, or for us. And then I think memorable gigs, we were lucky enough, we were big fans of Neil Young and we got to play with him down in Cork. We were supporting him, but I was only chatting about this the other day, myself and my wife now, Christine, were on the stage for Rockin' in the Free World with JP, our guitarist. So we were literally, I don't think we were supposed to be on the stage while Neil Young was playing, and we just loved that song. And as soon as it came on, we said like, I have to get up there. So we got up onto the stage, and we're only a few feet away from Neil Young, and he's rocking out to Rockin' in the Free World. But Christine, my wife, she'd never been on that side of the stage. She never kind of seen it. Where you're looking out and there's like thousands of people going crazy out in front of you.
Yeah.
And she got so excited, and one of her things that she loves doing when she has a few drinks in her is doing handstands. So she was saying, I'm gonna run out and I'm gonna do a handstand beside Neil Young, and I was like, oh Jesus! I started looking around and there was like security at both sides of the stage, and they just had their eyes like fixed on us, like as if to say, what are we doing up on the stage?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh Chris, I don't think you should, because one of them, I had a fear that one of the security guards would have, she'd go out and start doing a handstand beside Neil Young, and one of the security guards would run out and rugby tackle her to the ground.
Yeah.
I ended up talking her down anyway, but I always regret it to this day, because it would have been hilarious.
Oh, no way.
He's out doing his solo and she goes running out and does a cartwheel and a handstand beside him. It would have been good.
Would have been definitely one for the Christmas tree. The photos hanging around the tree anyway. Like, do you remember that?
Yeah, definitely.
Unbelievable though. I can only imagine. And like, that's something that you're used to, especially, as you say, back in 2015 with Electric Picnic, and you're in front of that stage. Like, when you achieve a high like that, I think it's something that so many musicians, especially when they're just starting out, that's the dream, is to just fill a stadium or have an entire field full of people in front of you. Like, is that kind of like chasing the dragon? Is it always something then that once you do it, that like, and there were even numbers far before 2015 where you're reaching a crowd like that, but is that always an exhilaration that you go for? Is that like a peak of the music career for you?
Definitely, yeah. And they're the things you kind of aspire to and work towards as a band, because like there's lots of highs and lows over the 20 years, and they're the major highlights. They're the kind of gigs and things that make it all worthwhile and keep you in it. It's like when you're starting out as a band, like the dream is to, I don't know, play your local venue or put out an album, and then it just keeps growing.
Yeah.
And here we are 20 years later, and we still love it. Like, we're bringing out loads of new music. it feels like a new chapter now, and it's hard to believe like we're together 20 years.
20 years.
Like even saying that is it just feels it's just mad. Like 20 years is it's a long time, and in one way it does feel like a lifetime, and then in another way it doesn't. And yeah, we still love it. We still love playing, and like last year we got to play Glastonbury again, which was that was a major highlight for us. The last time we played it was back in 2013, I think. So that was
12, yeah.
12 years ago last year, making our return, and we really savoured it this time because we usually when you're playing festivals, you're in and out because you might have 3 or 4 festivals on the one weekend, so you're kind of just like in play the gig, and then you might get to hang around for a couple of hours and back out again.
Hmm.
But we made sure this time that we were making the most of Glastonbury. We went over like just on the week the lead into it, and we went down and played a gig in London, and then drove up to Glastonbury on the Friday and stayed until Monday. So it was
Nice.
just a brilliant experience, amazing festival.
Yeah, the whole thing and being able to be there. Oh, I can only imagine. Because obviously being a member in the crowd, looking up and seeing the bands that you've always loved is one thing, but to actually be the band, kind of going around and experience it all behind the scenes, it's unreal. And you were touching into it there. You know, you're still going, still loving the music, still rocking in the free world, if you will. And then you bring out
Yeah.
Oh You A Lot on St. Bridget's Day, just gone by, 1st of February. You bring it out, and that's the start of the 6th highly anticipated studio album. And so I want to get in your brain, Mal, if you don't mind my asking, is like, I presume every album feels just like a music child that you're bringing into the world, and it's song by song, it's bar by bar. How has the creative process gone so far for this? How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, I I think as you touched on there with albums, you're so connected to each one, and I think I nearly think they're like a time capsule of where you're at the time. You know, there's like a photograph, and each album is that for the band. I think. I suppose we used to kind of put out an album every 2 years. There's a lot of releases, and since what was something special. It was kind of like it was an EP, but it was a 7 track
Hmm.
EP, so it's kind of a mini album. We put that out in 2019, and then of course COVID happened then, and
Yeah.
it just kind of feels like a few years just kind of went missing, and we just kind of, I suppose we were so busy at the time leading up to that that we kind of embraced that time off the kind of initial 2 years. And as you were saying, I put out a solo album then, and
Yeah.
that was a kind of very personal album and a collection of songs that, you know, kind of dedicated to friends and family. It was very much an album that wouldn't have suited the band,
Yeah.
and that's the reason why I put it out as a solo album.
Okay.
During that time as well, the lads have got more involved in writing as well. JP,
Yeah, up the front.
who wrote he wrote this song "Oh You Lost," and he sings on it as well, and it's a very personal song to him, so it just made sense for him to sing it as well,
Mm.
and it's something that he wants to do more of, because Jay's in a trad band as well, so he's very much in the trad scene as well. He's in another band called Deensha, and he would sing in that band a lot. And when we're playing at gigs and that, anyone that comes to our gigs, Jay would be singing as well, you know, and Jerry does as well.
Mm.
So it just feels like a kind of a natural progression as well, and a kind of an evolution of the band, and it feels like nearly like another string in our bow now, because
Yeah.
the band is actually evolving, and the lads are getting more and more involved in the songwriting, and now with Jay singing as well. So
Mm.
it feels like we're moving all the time, moving forward.
Yeah.
And then I suppose in relation to the album, the 6th album, that should be coming around October. So we're still kind of working on songs now at the moment, and we're planning to put that out in October. But we've a lot kind of coming between now and October, because, as I say, we're celebrating our 20th year as a band.
Mm.
So we actually have another song coming out on St. Patrick's Day
Nice.
called 800 Years, which is very different. Again, it's kind of I don't know if you heard we released a song called The Old Stomping Ground last year, I think it was,
Right.
and it's in a similar kind of
Nice one.
sonically it's quite similar, and then it touches on colonial intergenerational trauma, but kind of through the colonial frame. So it's a very different song for us, and it's kind of I guess it's great in a way because the song itself is 8 minutes long, so we didn't write it for a radio. It's more so a song that we felt it needed to be put out,
Mm.
and a song with a really powerful message, I think. And yeah, we're really excited about that. So that's coming in March.
Yeah, and can
Then
I
we
ask
have another.
who had kind of more? Because as you're saying, there's more cooks in the kitchen now when it comes to writing. It's not just yourself kind of taking the brunt of it all. Who in that for 800 years? Who kind of had like a bigger say in this?
Well, that song I'd actually written and recorded it when it
Nice.
was around the same time I was doing my solo album,
Ah, okay.
and it was a song that I loved, really loved, and it didn't fit on that album. It just wouldn't have made sense with that collection of songs. I found it there a couple of months ago, three or 4 months ago, and I was thinking, geez, that song needs to be put out, and I
Yeah.
sent it on to the lads, and I said, lads, what you make of this song? What you think? And they loved it, so they were saying we need to put that out. So that's the next song
Nice
that's going
one.
to be coming out now in March. And then we have another one coming in April. And then we have some work that we were doing with the RTE Symphony Orchestra. And we have a
Okay.
beautiful version of All Works Out done with the orchestra.
Wow.
It's really something special. So we're going to be putting that out probably in May or June. And then we also have a live album that's being put together at the moment,
Wow. Okay.
and a live concert like video. It was all filmed. We brought in a crew there before Christmas to film our Wheeling show. So that's coming out as well during the summer. So this is all coming
Lord.
out before the new album. So we're kind of we released 2 tracks last year and 1 track the year before, but now there's like a lot of stuff coming this year, and mainly that is around to mark the 20-year anniversary celebration of the band being together, and then also then as we're coming to the tail end of them kind of celebrations, coming with the new album, then that it's not all about nostalgia. We're celebrating the 20 years, marking it, because it is a serious achievement for
Yeah.
a band, anyone that's playing out there in a band, or has been in the industry will understand that it's full of ups and downs, and to hit 20 years is or even 5 years or 10 years,
Yeah.
I feel it's a testament to the band to last that long, and now have like a load of jet fuel in the engines and ready to take off again, and be excited about it.
Yeah, God, Malachi, I have to say, you definitely know how to throw a party. Riptide Movement. I mean, the album's in October. You're telling me there's a song on St. Patrick's Day in March. Then you have the RT Orchestra track of It All Works Out coming out in May, June. Then you have a live album coming out towards the summer. And that's all before the 6th studio album comes out. Fair play.
Yeah.
20 years is that's rocking. You're doing amazing with that calendar lineup. That's unbelievable. So we definitely know what we're
Yeah.
looking for. Like usually towards this part of the interview I'd say, so what's next? And I feel like everything is next, Malachi. It feels like this is a whole new chapter. It's like you're starting again almost.
Yeah, it kind of feels that way as well. Like, as I say, I think that period around COVID and having kind of time to, because as I say, we're in album cycles non-stop before that, like with 5 album cycles. And it was, you go into the studio, you write, record the album, then you're out touring it. And then as soon as you finish touring it, you're back into the studio.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to get perspective on everything. And having that kind of time around COVID, and then we took a extended time, another year or so, where we were kind of just eased back into it, done a little bit of touring. I think that just gave us a whole new perspective on everything, and an appreciation for how lucky we are to be doing what we're doing, and that people still like our music, and people come to festivals and enjoy seeing us playing at festivals, and are coming to our gigs and supporting us still. We're we don't take that for granted. We really appreciate it, and having that perspective now, we've always appreciated it, but now more than ever. So it feels like the band's in a really, really good place, and yeah, hopefully we can go for another 20 years and beyond.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I have to say, on behalf of the Riptide fans, I think 2026 is just such an incredible year of content and falling in love with the band all over again, and just unbelievably fair play, guys. Like, you really put the foot down on the pedal this year, and looking at this calendar ahead, and already the quality, like, owe you a lot. beautiful song, so good. The fact that this is the start of the year to come, it's a good year to be a Riptide fan, and that's the whole country that's included in that. So Mal, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us here on the Very Irish Playlist. We're so looking forward to St. Patrick's Day and even further ahead, and hopefully if I'm calling you again in 2027 we could be saying something similar for the 21st year of Riptide movement maybe.
Yeah, and thanks a million for having us on the show. Really appreciate it, and best of luck with everything.